Hey there, everybody. Thanks a lot for coming along on today's video. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to update the databases in a Generation 1 VisionJet. We'll get right to it right after this.
Good morning, departure VisionJet 379, Juliet Mike 1.5 for 3000 and the turn to 090.
379 Juliet Mike, turn right heading 140.
Right turn 140, 9 Juliet Mike.
379 Juliet Mike, turn right heading 180.
Right turn 180, 9 Juliet Mike. Clear for takeoff, runway 19, 379 Juliet Mike.
Hey there, everybody. Thank you so much for coming along on this video. And in this video today, I'm going to show you the step-by-step instructions on how to update the databases in a Generation 1 VisionJet. Now remember, the Generation 1 VisionJet process is different than a Generation 2 and Generation 2 Plus VisionJets. So make sure that if you have a Generation 2 or Generation 2 Plus VisionJet, you follow the proper procedures, which are going to be slightly different than what I'm showing you in this video. The technique in this video is just for the Generation 1 VisionJets. One other bit of advice is make sure that you fully understand the process from beginning to end and you follow the steps in exact order. Failing to do so can cause some problems with the databases. You don't want to have any problems with the databases because sometimes resolving those problems takes quite a bit of time and perhaps money. One additional thing to note is that I also get questions about, is it possible to transfer the databases, say from an iPad to the panel of the aircraft? Now, when we refer to databases, Garmin Pilot has an application through the Connects features that's called Database Concierge. Now, Database Concierge supposedly allows you to transfer databases and update databases from your iPad to the avionics system for certain Garmin avionics platforms. And certainly, that capability does exist in the Generation 1, Generation 2, and Generation 2 Plus VisionJets. However, one bit of advice, the database and file sizes are so large that they may be subject to corruption through the wireless transfer process. So a lot of the experts don't recommend using Database Concierge to transfer the databases from an iPad to the avionics system. Instead, we use the card process. And in any case, I'll show you a little bit more about that, and I appreciate you guys coming along on this video. All right, so thanks a lot again for coming along on this video. What we're going to need is a laptop computer. They say that PC-based computers work the best for this. However, you can use Mac computers, and the process for Mac may be a little bit different than what I'm going to show you. So if you're using a Mac computer, make sure you contact your Cirrus expert or Garmin expert or even somebody from Jeppesen to ensure that you are doing everything properly as it applies to Mac computers. So what we have here is JDM, or Jeppesen Distribution Manager. We have nav data, we have airport directory, base map, obstacles, safe taxi, terrain, sectional charts, and electronic charts. Most of these databases will update every 28 or 56 days, except for the electronic charts, which updates about every 14 days. We know right now that the only database that I need to update is going to be the electronic charts because I recently updated the other cycles. One additional thing we need is a Transcend multimedia card reader. Connects to the computer using a conventional USB. It has a SD slot and a microSD slot on this side here. And while you might think it just looks like it's an SD card adapter, it's actually a multimedia card adapter which provides both the ability to transfer the file and also provide some voltage to the 510 card. Now, if you recall, the Garmin Flightstream 510 card, it looks like an SD card, but it also has built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth capability embedded into the SD card package, if you will. Now, in order for you to put files onto the 510 card, you have to supply some voltage to the card to allow the card to properly receive and function to accept the database files. So that's why a Transcend card reader is necessary. a FlightStream 510 card will certainly fit into a conventional SD card slot. However, without the ability to provide power to that card, it will not accept the files. So that's why we require a Transcend multimedia card reader for the FlightStream 510 card. And so in any case, that's what else we need. All right, everybody, we're in the aircraft now. We have got GTC1, GTC2, and GTC3. These are Garmin touch controllers. On the PFD side, we have the lower slot here for the SD card for the PFD. And then on this side here, we've got a FlightStream 510 card in the bottom slot of the multifunction display. We'll take that out too. So now we have both of the cards here. And again, the 510 card looks just like this one in terms of its packaging, but one significant difference, it's a different color of course, but it also has built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth capability built into this package. Again, it looks visually very similar to a regular SD card. So what we're going to do now is take these two SD cards and we'll use the Transcend reader and the PC to transfer the electronic charts onto each one of these one at a time, and I'll show you how to do that. All right, very good. So we've got the PC here, and we'll get logged back in so that we can bring up Jeppesen Distribution Manager. And again, this is a close-up of what the Transcend card looks like. Again, it just looks like regular USB here, and then it's got the two card slots on this side. If you need one of these, let me know and I can provide a Amazon link. I think they're probably about $13 or $15 on Amazon.com. Not expensive, but certainly very critical because you, again, need the Transcend card reader in order to put any databases onto the FlightStream 510 card. All right, next thing too is anytime you want to put anything on the wing of the plane, put something down. In this case, I've got a nice microfiber towel that's been discharged for static, so we don't have to worry about any static discharge. Now what we're going to do is place the Transcend card reader into the USB. And we'll just put our mouse down to here. We're going to place the PFD SD card in now. Now this window here shows us the status of things. Everything's up to date that's on this card except for Presto, the electronic charts. So we'll just press update here. And we'll check the status. Yep, up to date. So remember that we want to be able to eject the SD card using the proper process, so we'll eject the Transcend. Okay, safely remove the hardware. Remember that step is critical. So now that we've got the electronic charts put on the PFD card, we'll start this process again. Insert the Transcend reader. Now this is what the 510 card looks like. And we'll put the 510 card in now. And again, we have the status window here. And Presto, electronic charts shows out of date. So we'll press update. And then we've got a transfer status here. Now one thing I found that the transfer process for a conventional SD card is faster than the transfer process onto the 510 card. In other words, it takes a little bit longer for the files to move over to the 510 card, and that seems to be pretty normal. So we'll wait for that to fully transfer over. It should just be another moment or so. All right, and the transfer is complete. Let's check the status. And it says up to date here. This all looks good here. We'll close all those windows out. And we don't want to forget the oh so important step of properly ejecting the media card. So let's eject the Transcend. It says it's safe to remove it. Very good. So now we've put the electronic charts databases, or database if you will, on these two cards. And now we're going to go back to the plane. One thing that is critically important when updating the databases in a turbine class aircraft, you definitely want to have the aircraft connected to a ground power unit while you are updating the databases. In this case, this start pack is 28.8 volts DC and capable of providing 50 amps of power. Now, while the start pack is not intended for use to start the aircraft or to charge the batteries, it does provide some charging capabilities while connected. All right, everybody, we're back in the plane now, and we've got the aircraft connected to the ground power unit. We've got the PFD card. We're going to place that back into the lower slot. And we're going to make sure it's fully inserted and locked into place. Now we're going to take the 510 card and do the same. Put it into the lower PFD slot. Make sure it is locked in place, in which they are. We know we've got ground power. So we'll turn battery 1 and 2 on. And we can bring up the avionics database status here on GTC2. What we brought in was essentially chart view, and so now it's syncing the chart view because it recognizes that chart view database 2401 is expired. So we've got one database to transfer. It's 54%, 62%, about 5 seconds left. It's a very quick process. But now that's all done, and essentially that is how you update the databases in a Generation 1 Vision Jet. Just please understand that the Generation 2 and Generation 2 Vision Jets have the Garmin Perspective Touch Plus avionics system, and that requires a slightly different process. It's actually a simpler process, but it's definitely a different process. In the case of the G2 and G2 Plus jets, you never ever put databases onto those cards directly. It's only in the Generation 1 jets that you do that. Thank you so much again for coming along on this video as we update the databases on a Generation 1 Vision Jet. Until next time, safe flying, and we'll see you on the next flight.
I really appreciate you watching the channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the videos. Also, click on the notification bell so you'll be the first to be notified when new videos are posted. I can't thank you enough for taking the time to send your emails, comments, and feedback. My goal is to provide even better content for you as we continue to grow the channel. Until next time, safe flying, and we'll see you on the next flight.